Why would you say such a controversial thing to me?
Who needs support? Support is for wimps.
Support is for wimps? Is that what you said?
Oh, yeah.
Have you been to therapy lately? That sounds interesting.
I go to therapy enough.
Yeah, I just thought that was it's kind of weird though. I mean, are you a wimp?
No.
And yet you have a support therapist, huh?
It's not a support therapist.
What do they do?
Teach you tools to be a good person and live your life well.
So they're not supporting you in some way.
No.
Yeah, okay. Gonna go with that, huh? Supporters for the week. Hang on, I gotta schedule my next therapy appointment.
I have trouble with like comedy acting because like I don't know how people don't laugh at things or laugh at like when I try to lie, I'm like giggle, you know?
I mean, comedy acting. You're not allowed to tell jokes.
No, but like I feel like you have to take the joke seriously when you're telling it in acting. And like I just laugh. Like I can't keep the joke going, you know, because I just find it too funny myself.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining to watch yourself too when you realize something is a joke and you're like, oh, okay, I can do this. I got this. And then you laugh anyway and it's ruined. You're like
a chihuahua.
No, those things are worse. They're just rats. I don't know if you've. Did you see? I saw a little meme about a chihuahua and it was like, lost dog, Brian, his chihuahua is not friendly. Do not contact me. It was like the picture and it looked like Pete Davidson was wearing like a Grinch outfit with the black fur instead of green. That's what it looked like. It was so funny looking.
He was like, please, I don't want this dog back.
Right. Yeah, it was so funny to me. Anyway, this is episode 97.
Oh, God.
She's prattling mindlessly, and I'm mindlessly prattling. We're your hosts. What was your name again? She's looking at me like I should remember.
I'm literally your wife.
All right. That's wife. I'm Jordan. And we're the ones who talk into the microphones. Everyone nunching again.
Pleasing your ears.
Oh, you don't know that. Did you just assume the ear pleasure of the people?
I know my voice is very pleasurable to hear. Thank you.
Later, I'm going to play back your voice to you, and we're going to see how many cringy faces you make.
No.
Why not?
We don't need to do that. I know how amazing it is.
Oh, we don't need to do that, do we?
We don't need to listen to it.
Well, wait till we get to episode 100. You get to listen to yourself talk for a while. Speaking of which, tell us what's going on in episode 100 for those who haven't been cool and hip like the new kids.
So I guess we are around for 100 episodes now or something. So we're going to pick out some of our favorite clips and share them on that episode if you want to listen.
Your sense of hype is just through the roof right now. Like, yes, it is week 100. You should listen.
Oh my God. Episode 100 coming up. Cannot believe we've gotten this far as a podcast. I'm so excited to share all our favorite clips with you guys.
How do you have 0 and 100 on your settings? Why don't you pick 50? All right. Pick 50 right in the middle. You could do it. I believe in you. I've seen it happen.
I don't know how to do
when
50.
You're just like, no, 50 happened earlier tonight when we were like, let's make soup. And you're like, ooh, I love soup. That was 50. That was it. You didn't scream about how soup's amazing and you're going to be like, so good.
I do love soup.
Right. But you weren't like, soup is good.
All right, guys. Soup. Episode 100 coming up. So excited.
It's just the microphone where you're like, yes, we are doing a thing.
You know what?
On episode 97 and she's still afraid of the microphones.
But I'm more excited for The Witcher 4.
Speaking of microphones, you're right. There, The Witcher 4. I saw a little meme on the internet, on the interwebs.
Just a little one?
Yeah, they're not in my dictionary yet, but they're in the interwebs. And it was just like a person of a shield blocking thrown bottles and trash. and they were the caption was like true Witcher fans, and it was blocking like the Ciri timeline in The Witcher 4, and then on the other side it was just like weebs who didn't want Ciri to have a game. I was like, all right.
Well, I think I told you, but I mean, if you played through the end of The Witcher 3, like it's pretty obvious that the next one was going to be about Ciri, like especially if you unlocked a bunch of different like after credit scenes, like
Whoa, spoilers.
it's been a long ass time.
I've never finished any of the Witcher games.
Okay, I only
I've
finished it
played
once and I
them.
got the bad ending,
I
but
don't even know what it is, but that's awesome.
yeah, I I know what I need to do to get the good one, so
That's good. Yeah.
but so the next one's gonna follow Siri, and like I thought the trailer looked super cool. Like the few times you got to play her in the third one, like I thought her powers were really interesting. So I'm excited to see where her story goes. Plus, like canonically, I'm pretty sure she's like gay or at least half gay, which I think is great.
I don't know. I watched the show. Show was good up until they got rid of Henry Cavill
Yeah,
for creative differences. No, they got
for
rid of
him
him
caring
because he was
about
like,
the
"Hey,
books
this
and
is
the
what
games.
happens in the books, and this is what happens in the games. I'm not doing something else." And they're like, "Well, then I guess you're not doing anything." Ha ha. That's what I imagine they sounded
I
like when they
just
were arguing.
I can't imagine starting with the perfect representation of your character and someone who's so passionate about it and getting rid of them for
Yeah,
the guy
no,
from the Hunger Games.
they were like, "Ugh, we need someone else." You're like, why? The wannabe boyfriend from the Hunger Games? Like, I don't like. You couldn't even get like the real Hemsworth. You got like the fake one. All right. Mm.
I don't know. I feel kind of bad for him but he was doomed from the start, you know, like
Well, yeah. Even the creator of The Witcher was like, yes, every portrayal of him going forward is is him, and you're like, okay, that makes
I
sense.
mean, he looks a lot like Geralt in Witcher 3.
That's what I'm saying. They replaced him, and I haven't seen any of the seasons after he got replaced. So I'm like,
No, even the last season that he was on, like you can just tell the crew is just kind of going through the motions.
mm.
I didn't really like the costume design or anything, but
The first season was really good. That's why
oh
I thought
yeah.
it'd be
I remember
a little bit
like
better.
it was so good that season 2 came out and you got mad at me for starting it without you.
Yeah, because like, we watched the whole first season together, and you're like, anyway, I'm 3 episodes into the second season, and I was like, hey, you heartless mother of people. And
Mhm.
it's a family friendly show now. Ripley forgot to tell you that at the
Is
beginning.
it?
She's gonna not curse once during this.
Okay.
That's the sound of true dedication and belief right
Um
there.
so the other game though I showed Jordan that I'm really excited for is Split Fiction, which if you've seen It Takes Two or No Way Out, it's kind of like that where you can do co-op, split screen co-op.
It's designed for split screen co-op. Let's not say you can do. It's designed
It's
for it.
designed,
It's
but you can also
specifically
do
designed
like
for it.
online co-op. So
Well, yes, but it's designed for two-player co-op is what it's designed
yeah,
for.
and I really like playing those kinds of games with you. I think it's really fun. I just there's something about sitting next to each other playing a game like together that's just much better than like doing it online. Excuse me, I ate too much soup.
I was randomly scrolling through YouTube yesterday and I saw a really good soup recipe. So I sent it to Ripley and we had it tonight. I didn't know that it was going to be 80 degrees today. Otherwise, we would not have had soup.
Well,
It was way too warm, but
it was
was
delicious
also
though.
very delicious. Yes.
Oh my god, I ate a lot of soup and a lot of bread, and
Mm-hmm.
now I'm like
Oh
soup.
yeah. I'll post the
Um,
link in the description for that soup. It's really good soup.
but yeah, so Split Fiction is it looks like there's two different writers trying to get their idea made, and one of them is like a fantasy writer, and one of them is a sci-fi writer, and they get stuck inside both of their books. But then the company's trying to kill them, and I don't know what else because obviously it was just like one trailer. But I think that one's gonna be really fun. Like I can't not wait to play that with you. Actually,
And did it say when in 2025 or did it just say early
no, I
2025
think it
or
just said early
in
2025,
2025?
but
Hmm. Well, either way then.
Warframe's getting an update with the 1999 thing.
There was a lot of controversy over like the Astro Boy thing, which I think is
You brought it
weird.
up. I don't know anything about Astro Boy, but that's like the PlayStation one, right?
Right. I thought that Astro Boy was like when we first got the PS5, it was like, oh, you can play this game that comes pre-installed on the PlayStation. I was like, okay, cool little thing.
That's what I thought.
And then I saw, but I didn't think anything of it. And then I saw apparently the full game, like an actual game, came out, and that's the one that they're referring to. I was thinking when I saw it in the lineup, I thought it was just like the one that just came installed on there. That was just like, hey, here's how you use the PlayStation 5 and the controller and the haptic feedback and everything that was new about the controllers and
Mhm.
the system. No, apparently it's a full game, and I
What's
had
it
no idea.
about?
A little robot? I don't know.
About a little robot.
Yeah, I don't know. Uh, what I searched the wrong thing. I put Astro Boy instead of Astro Bot, like the movie. Unlike Astros Playroom, that's what I was thinking of. Astros Playroom is the thing that comes installed on there. Let me read the PlayStation description of it. Where is it? Where did it? Where? What? It just disappeared on me. Huh? How is that helpful? You should play Astrobot. Thank you. I don't. I just want the description, but okay. More familiar faces. No. Add-ons. No. 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 Why is this not? Why is this not popping up? All right. Anyway, unlike Astro's Playroom, Astro Bot is a standalone full-sized adventure that offers over 4 times more worlds, 300 bots to rescue, and dozens of new powers and features to discover. So I guess it's just like the full expansion version download of Astro's Playroom, which that was what I was thinking of. That's still cool
Well,
though.
I mean, good for it. I don't think it's the kind of game I would personally get into, but
No, I wasn't like super into Astro's Playroom, so I mean, I played it like while the first game was downloading
yeah,
that
I think
that we
that's the
had
only
we're
time I have as well.
installing, you know.
I still haven't even finished Horizon 2. What was that one called?
Forbidden West, yeah.
Forbidden West.
Horizon 2.
I finished the
I
first
haven't
one.
either, dude. I have I think like 140 hours in it. I've just been doing all the side quests. I haven't gotten near anywhere near done with it. And then I watch videos of it and I'm like, wow, it still looks amazing. It's really cool. And then I watch those videos of people doing like crazy combos and like using different weapons. I'm like, wow, that does look awesome. And then I go play and I just have like regular weapons. I'm like, I'm just gonna shoot it with a bow 50 times and that dinosaur's gonna die. Like that's how I play. And it takes way longer than the video I watch. I'm like, I don't know how to stack all those
I know.
effects. I don't
Actually, one of my top YouTube comments is from the first Horizon Zero Dawn, where I looked up a tutorial on how to do something, and it was like a level 8 quest or something that I was really struggling with, and the person who did the tutorial was like level 50 something.
Yeah, I remember you text me about that, and you're like, "I got to stop playing this for a while." I was like, "Why? It looks so good." And then I came over to like visit, and I was playing, and I was like, "Wow, this game's amazing." And then you were like, "Yeah, just I can't play it though." And I'm like, "Why?" And you're like, "Cause I'm locked in a dungeon that's like 20 levels above where I'm at." And I'm like, "Why'd you go in there? It says you can't get out." And you're like, "Yeah, I thought it would just be okay." And you were stuck in that dungeon for months. So you just didn't play. And I was like, all right, well, I guess don't do that
Well,
then.
you know what? I beat it eventually, but I
Yeah.
still get people responding to that comment, and it's been years.
That's pretty funny.
But they all agree. So,
What, that the dungeon's hard or shouldn't let you in
oh,
before a
the
certain level?
tutorial was
Or
useless because he was such a high level that it was like, well, yeah, like you're way above the level of the area, so
yeah,
duh,
yeah.
it's
You're
easy for
doing a
you.
level 10 quest at level 30, man. Of course it's going to be easier for you. I'm level 12.
What's your favorite app that you use? Like, is there an app you use on like a consistent basis that you're like, oh yeah, I love this app?
I think the one I'm on, if I'm on my phone, I'm either on Reddit or I use an app called Flora. And Reddit is Reddit. If you
I
don't
know
know
what
what it
Reddit
is,
is.
go for it. Maybe someone
Oh,
on the internet does it. I'm
like,
not talking to you, all right? You
oh yeah,
suck.
this is a
There's
podcast.
other people here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the other one is called Flora. It's like a time goal app sort of thing. Basically what you do is you go in there and it's basically like self parental controls. So what I
Yeah.
do is I set goals for like things I want to do each week. So like I want to spend I think I have like 4 hours a week on classes and 3 hours a week reading and like an hour a week on like podcast things outside of just recording and then a couple other things that are in there.
Mhm.
And what you do is you set it up, excuse me, so that
Soup.
soup so that you set like a list of apps that you can use while the like a countdown is going or while the timer is going, and it restricts it so you can't go on things like Reddit or YouTube or things like that. So the only apps that I have that still work when I like turn that on is the Flora app itself, the like my messages and phone calls in case someone still needs to reach me or something like that, and then like I also have the dictionary, Kindle, and my web browser enabled so that if I'm like reading on Kindle, it won't obviously disable it. You can read on there, but if I need to look something up, I can still look it up in like the dictionary or something, and I
Mhm.
don't have to use a computer or get distracted or whatever. And the fun part of it is you can sign up to subscribe it. Basically, you set like a time for yourself. So say your goal for the class or like doing homework, it was 4 hours in a week. Well, you can set it up so you're like, oh, I only have 20 minutes. I'm going to do 20 minutes right now.
Mhm.
Well, they have different goals, and it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 25 minutes. And when you set that at least that amount of time and hit start, at the end of it, it grows a little mini flower or tree or plant on the app, depending on where you're like which little region you locate in and which one you pick. So, for instance, like the last one I did was like a half hour for my class. I ended up going like 45, 50 minutes. And then it gave me a little oak tree.
Oh.
And so it puts it in this little virtual garden. But if you, and the virtual garden is cool by itself, but if you subscribe to their service, which I think is only like, it's not very much. I think it's like $2 a month, or it's based off of some time. I haven't really looked into that part of it specifically. But basically, if you spend enough time on there, the subscription doesn't go towards the company, it goes towards planting trees in real life. So if you spend enough time, say, doing your homework or reading or whatever, and then it'll pull that $2 or $3 or whatever for the month, and instead of like the subscription, they'll use it to plant a tree somewhere in the world,
Mhm.
which I think is a really cool feature of that.
That does sound really cool.
But that's usually what I use my phone for. If it's not phone calls, text, I'll be either on Reddit or I'll try and set goals for that so that I'm not on my phone as much. What do you normally use?
I think my number one most used app is Kindle.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm on like a 5-week reading streak right now.
Is that like reading every day or just
Yeah,
reading in the
like
week?
reading every single day.
Okay. When I use daily is Duolingo. I don't use it like a ton during the day, but I do use it daily to keep that streak up and, prove that I'm better than you.
I will say my Duolingo has been lacking over this weekend. I had to use some
You had to use some streak freezes,
streak
did you?
freezes. Excuse me,
Ooh.
sorry. I'm like
I've
full of
used
dinner.
one streak freeze since our honeymoon. Yeah, let that sink in. It's been 6 months and I've used one.
I've used like 8.
Yeah. Yours also, your streak restarted, didn't it?
During our honeymoon, yeah,
Yeah,
because for some reason you
crazy.
had so many streak freezes.
I don't know how. So we were gone for like 8 days
Yeah.
and I only had like 3 streak freezes. So I thought I had to start over. And then it was like, do you want to spend like a few hundred of the like little gems
Mm-hmm.
to buy more streak freezes and then use them for last week? And I was like, sure. So then it just kept going. And I was like, well, now it's kind of less impressive when I see other people that are like, oh, they're on 3 years plus. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't mean much to me anymore.
Yeah, you can take like 5 minutes
Like,
and get it. But
plus, I'm more interested in the learning part rather than the streak part. So, like, even if you've only been doing it for 2 months, if you're doing it for, 2 hours a day for 2 months and someone else is only using it for 2 minutes a day for 6 months, you're probably still
that's
getting
me.
more out of it.
Like sometimes I'm like, okay, you need to like brush up on certain things.
Yeah. Yeah. Every once in a while, I'll go back through. It's like, you've made 40 mistakes. And I'm like, let me try looking through these again.
You,
It's like, you
oh my
used,
god, you
you
made
used
way less
Esta
mistakes
here.
than I did. Like
On
In
what?
2024, it showed you how many mistakes you made in the Duolingo review thing.
Did it? Oh man, I
You
don't remember
made
how many I
so
made.
few compared to me. I made hundreds.
Let me see where. Hopefully the sound doesn't go off if you hear the little like owl in the background.
No, you
Uh
didn't.
see year in review. Here we go. Start. I made 184 mistakes. Okay. That's how many I made. I don't know
That's
how many you
barely
made,
any.
but
Like 400 something.
184 over the course of a year. I think that's pretty decent. Like one every few days. But it probably also depends on how much I'm doing in that day, you know. I went to a company Christmas party on Saturday night, and it was great.
How'd it
It
go?
was a lot of fun. I'm not usually a huge fan of the company Christmas parties or holiday parties.
Having fun.
It was fun. I didn't enjoy being surprised last minute with being told I had to give a speech,
Yeah.
and then being told I was the only one giving a speech, and then being like, okay, what do I say in the speech? And they're like, oh, just a couple thank yous here and there. It
Nothing
ended up
crazy.
being like I think it was 5 or 6 minutes. It wasn't like incredibly long, but when I'm the only speaker and 200 people are staring at me that I've never, like most of them I've never met before, I'm like,
You're like, hello.
hey, so I know you're eating food. Yeah, I was too until I got up here with the microphone. There's no mic stand, so no podium, no nothing. I was literally just raw dogging that entryway, just standing in front of 200 people that were sitting down. I will say though, there was definitely not enough chairs because
Yeah.
way more people showed up than they anticipated
How
for
many
that.
like
But it was
people to
good.
chairs did you have?
There was probably 115 chairs, and there was, I would say, I never sat down because I didn't get a chair, but people were rotating in and out. And I think some people took off a little bit early, maybe because of that, maybe because they were like, well, alcohol's here, so let's go somewhere else with it. I don't know. But overall, it was pretty good. And I got good feedback from it. And someone told me that I had a nice melodic voice that
Yeah.
sounded sincere. And I was like, yeah, all right, that sounds good. And he's like, yeah, you sounded comfortable talking into a microphone. And I was like, I am. Yep. Walked off. I was like,
I
I
play video
wonder why.
games. You're
But yeah, it was good. I have not played video games in a few days, and now I'm sad. That
gonna
was
play
the whole thought. There was no follow up to that.
are you gonna play games tonight?
No, we have too much to do. Or yeah, I'm gonna play games. You do all my stuff.
No.
See, it didn't sound good. I knew it. No,
I go to bed
look,
early today. I'm like shit.
you look disgusted and tired at the same time.
I'm like crashing all of a sudden. I think it was the soup.
This, yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah, it's like I could take a nap.
I spooned a bunch of soup for that
You're good at
and
spooning.
you picked through it like some uncultured sandwich bread loving
I was just
swine.
looking for chicken.
You were only wanting chicken and the noodles. That was it.
It's called gnocchi. It's not called noodles. It's potato.
Is it a starch?
It's not a noodle.
Do you boil it?
Yes. It's a pasta,
What
not
is
a
the
noodle.
definition of a noodle? Now we got to know. A strip, ring, or tube of pasta or similar dough, typically made with egg, eaten with sauce, or in a soup.
It's a type of pasta, not a type of noodle. A noodle, it's like a noodle.
I just read you the definition of noodle,
A
which
gnocchi
includes
is not a noodle. It's a pasta.
Okay, similar
It's
dough.
a type of dumpling.
A type of dumpling. That's what you're gonna go with.
That's what it says on here.
Okay.
The type of
She's
pasta
really trying to
consisting of
defend why
soft,
she was
fat, and
picking it
chewy
out
dumplings.
instead of eating the vegetables in
Shut
the
up!
soup.
It's because of the mental illness. Okay, can you just
use a spoon
it?
without looking down? All you gotta do is take a spoonful, eat it. Good.
You should shush.
You should talk into the microphone.
You talking to the microphone.
Did you see how she got louder there because she realized she was talking into the side of it?
I'm just. Why do we have to have things to do? Why can't we just cuddle on a big couch and sleep?
1, we have no big couches. 2, it's hot because of the soup and the atmosphere. And 3, you're an adult, you're going to do stuff.
Why don't you get a new couch?
Wow, why don't you get a new couch?
The kind of couches I want are too expensive.
You mean any couch? Because we have one. It's perfectly fine, and we have no money for couch.
Yeah, why can't we get a better job?
Why can't we get a better job? What? Why can't we get a better job? Yeah. Why can't we publish a fantastic authorization book? And
We could go to Ashley Furniture.
we could go to Starbucks. What the
Starbucks doesn't
heck?
sell furniture.
I'm not talking about furniture. I'm just talking about whimsical places we could go for no reason because we don't have money for it. What
I
are you
just
doing?
want a big, comfy couch that we could cuddle on together to watch movies.
Yeah, you should have thought about that when you were picking out this couch. That's all you got.
We were a lot broker when we picked out that couch.
We're still broke now. What
We're
are you
much
talking
broker
about?
than we were much
We're
more
much
broke
broker.
then.
You're right.
We're
much
less broke
broke-er.
now than we were then.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll finish my book and make money.
Yeah.
I have
You have?
so many things to write.
That's good. So many things.
So many.
You say polarization is Merriam-Webster's 2024 word of the year?
Why?
I didn't decide. I don't know.
Is it the political climate around the world?
I don't know. The article literally just says, with the results of the 2024 U.S. presidential election, is it any surprise that the word of the year is polarization?
Couldn't you have said that the 2021 to us?
I don't work for this dictionary. I don't get to pick the word of the year. I could not have.
Well,
no.
it's also
the answer is no.
The
I could
was
not
at the
have
end
done
of the
that.
year, so like they're gonna say it's polarization though.
Babe, every presidential election's at the end of the year. What are you talking about?
Nothing. Whatever.
I don't know what you're. I don't know what you were going for there.
Grandma needs a nap. Okay.
Too dang bad. I don't care if you don't want to dig holes. All right.
Digging up some holes.
Wow. This is a family-friendly show, ma'am.
It's not, and it never has been.
I've been putting the wrong tags on it then. Ugh. Got to go back and fix that.
So,
what clips do you think you're going to pull for episode 100?
I don't know. I got to go back and listen to them.
You don't have any that you can think of? I'm bringing out the cackle.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we're gonna have a whole soundboard. It's gonna be great. We're gonna play clips. We're gonna play our clips, and instead, at the end, after we play something funny, I'm just gonna play your laugh.
No.
Don't worry, I got you covered this episode. You're like, all right, Luigi.
I'm just laughing. How dare I enjoy things?
I didn't say you couldn't enjoy things. I'm just doing things that I enjoy. Okay. You ain't got no problem with it.
You enjoy things.
What do you got coming up this week?
Like what?
Like, are you taking that trip to Mars? What do you got going on this week? What do you mean? Like what? I don't know. It's your week.
Mostly just working. It's like my last week of classes. So I picked up an extra shift.
Oh my God.
So I'm working.
So it's your last week of classes. How are those going?
I have a 4.0, so I think they're going pretty good. I got some story ideas going. I need to write.
You're just less and less excited every time I talk to you about schools.
I'm just
not gonna talk
sleepy.
again. Sleepy? What?
I know we got other shit to do, but I'm like,
oh my gosh. Before you fall asleep, at least do the outro properly this week.
You do the outro properly this week.
No, I did the intro properly this week. Besides, last week, you promised that you would work on some accents and do it for the outro.
I didn't do that.
You did.
But I didn't.
You didn't practice, but you did promise.
But I didn't practice.
Well, then this is going to sound even better. Go ahead. Anything but British, remember? I'll wait. Gonna be some long pauses in this one.
I can't do it.
Why not?
This has been an episode of Mindless Prattle.
And then you go back to British anyway? What are you doing?
This is an episode.
You could just like do Southern and it would be different. Oh my gosh. Give us a Southern accent outro.
This. Mm, I keep.
Do I need to fly in your mom for like a week so
No,
you
it's
can
the
like?
laughter that I can't stop laughing once I start.
All right,
Don't look
serious
at me
time.
like that.
I'm gonna close my eyes. I won't even look at your silly face. Go ahead.
Shut up. That's not helping.
Oh, okay. Just waiting.
Just stop. This is why we need a video camera so people can see the joy of these moments.
This is why we need a like cubicle divider.
You need a cubicle divider.
I'm not the one struggling here.
This has been an episode of Mindless Prattle. If you like what your ears heard, please give us a like. Don't nod at me like that.
Oh,
Don't shake your head at me, sir.
you said don't nod. Now I can't shake. Was this fascist America?
We hope you like what you heard. Please give us a follow. Or else.
All right, give us a big yeehaw to end us.
Yeehaw.
That was very subtle. That was like, see, remember at the beginning when we were like, you're 0, 100? Now you're going to give us 25, huh? All right. The one time I'm like, give us 100. You're like, yeehaw. Well, now
I can't
I'm
wake the
excited for
baby.
them rodeos. As you touch her and wake her up. All right, whatever.
Yeehaw.
That's much better.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm going to use that as a clip. Don't worry.
Oh, God. No. I'm Ripley. That's Jordan. And we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye, y'all.